Do you know, it's really, really tricky being a mum. My daughter is now 24 years old, and you know, I really, really, really wanted the best for her. And so what I thought I would do, I'd go to school and help her get to where she wanted to go. And it was all going brilliantly. Grade 1, I was doing reading with all the other mums and the kids, and it was all fun. But unfortunately, by grade 3, I had got the sack. And I wonder, how did I get from there to somewhere I didn't want to be? And in reflection, I sort of figured out why, but I'd like to just share my story so that you can be the judge of whether it was a very fair and just sacking, or whether I should have been allowed to continue on to grade 4, where I could have gone on and done greater and bigger things. So let me take you on a journey to grade 2, where I was actually asked to help with the painting class. Now, all the other mothers didn't want to do painting, and I think they'd done painting before, and that's why they didn't want to do it. But because I was a new mum, I didn't actually know about the painting process. So we got into the room, and there was this big trestle table, massive trestle table, and on the table there were paints and brushes and that, and all the kids were standing around, and they had these plastic apron things on, and we were there, and the kids were painting with their brush, and they had a piece of paper. And then I said to one of the kids, which could have been my downfall, all you have to do is put some paint on the palm of your hand, and then put the palm of your hand on the paper. So the first kid did this. Well, there was this other bruiser kid. She was like a real rough and tumble kid. And she got the paint and she put it on this hand, and then she put it on this hand, and then she stood up and she smiled and she went, ha 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 ha, all down this. Well, it was funny, and all the kids laughed and I laughed, and then all the kids put paint on their hands, and then they went like that too, and we were all laughing, and the kids were laughing, and there was paint going everywhere. And then the teacher came in and she looked at me and she screamed, "Miss Purcell, what are you doing?" Anyway, it took another hour and a half for us to clean up the mess. And it wasn't that good. When I came back the following week, I was ready to go painting again because I'd learnt by the error of my way. And the teacher said, "You have to go on basket weaving." Basket weaving? You have to be kidding me. Who does basket weaving? Not me. So that sort of just fizzled out, a very early death. Anyway, grade 3 came along, and I thought, I can do better here. And I was asked to help on an excursion, and we went to Flay's Fauna Park. Yay, we all love flays. So here we were. I'd only got in trouble twice that day, and I was doing all right, I thought. The first time was apparently you're not to have the kids discoing in the nocturnal area with the animals. And then the second time I got in trouble was there's a big sign, "Do not feed the rabbits," and we were feeding the rabbits. But I figured we just had a bit of bread and the rabbits looked hungry. Anyway, but so the final sacking came when we walked outside. The day was over. The kids were in two rows, and the teacher said to me, "Miss Purcell, can you just stand at the front of the row?" She said, "I've just got to take the basket back to the office and I'll be back, and then we'll get on the bus and go home." I said, "Not a problem." And it was that Cecily Tonkin. It was her fault because she was standing next to me and she said, "I want to be in the front." And I said, no, I want to be in the front. And then I said no. So we were jostling and jostling and jostling, and my daughter Cara was there, so we had the two kids there. Well, I started walking faster, and Cecily walked faster, and Cara walked faster, and then all of a sudden Cecily and I were competing to be in front, and we were running, and we were running, and we were running, and we went down the corner, and we were sprinting, and both of us flew in the bus together. And then it occurred to me, we had the rest of the class that had followed us because we were in lines of two, and we had a stream of kids run down the corner, nearly knocked the bus driver over, and we all piled into the bus laughing and screaming and carrying on. And oh my God, the teacher had seen us from the office, and she came barreling down. As I hit the inside of the bus, she screamed at me, "Miss Purcell!" Well, that was my very last excursion. I actually failed grade 3 due to lack of crowd control and actually inciting the kids more than I controlled the kids. And, you know, in retrospect, thinking about it, I would probably do very much the same thing again, I think. So anyway, grade 4, I wasn't invited back. And by the time my child got to grade 7, she sort of had a clue about mum, and